A game that looked like a clean early season statement win turned into absolute chaos in the blink of an eye. The Mets had it. I mean, they had it, and somehow they let it slip in the most frustrating, head-scratching way possible. So here's the deal. This was supposed to be the sweep. First series of the 2026 season, Citi Field buzzing, everything lined up perfectly. But instead, a 4-3 extra inning loss to the Pirates, and suddenly all the questions come flying in. And not small questions either. We're talking decision-making, bullpen management, and one massive controversial call that flipped the entire game. Let's break it down. The plan was simple. Survive extras, let your offense finish the job. But here's where it started getting weird. For the second straight day, the Mets go to Richard Lovelady in a tie game in extra innings. Not your closer, not your top arms, Lovelady. And look, this isn't random bad luck. This is where the debate starts. Because sitting in that bullpen, Devin Williams, Brooks Raley, guys you expect in that moment. But Carlos Mendoza says Williams was basically off limits. He'd already been used, warmed up earlier in the week, and they didn't want to push him this early in the season. Raley? Still being eased back in. And honestly, I get it. It's game 3 of the season. You don't want to burn your bullpen in March. But here's the flip side. This game was right there for the taking. And Lovelady, he looked like a guy who had nothing left. First, he gives up the go-ahead RBI single, then the walks start piling up. And before you can even catch your breath, another RBI single. Just like that, the Pirates build the cushion, and the entire energy in Citi Field flips. But this is where the game turns into something else entirely. Bottom of the 10th, Francisco Lindor gets on. Juan Soto steps up and absolutely drills one off the wall in left center. The second that ball leaves the bat, you can feel it. This is it. This is the moment. And Lindor, he's not hesitating. He's thinking score. The third base coach, Tim Leiper, windmill is going. Full send. And this is the moment everyone is going to be arguing about. Because on paper, it makes sense. You're being aggressive. You're pressuring a Pirates team that had been sloppy all series. And honestly, he was right to trust it. But baseball doesn't care about your logic. Because out of nowhere, Oneil Cruz tracks it down clean, fires a perfect relay. Jared Trial handles it. And then Henry Davis finishes it. Bang, bang play at the plate. Lindor gets tagged hard and he's OUT. And just like that, everything collapses. Think about this for a second. If Lindor holds, you've got runners on second and third, no outs, with Bichette and Jorge Polanco coming up. That's a nightmare scenario for the Pirates. Instead, 1 out, runner on second, and the Mets go quiet, ground out, fly out, game over. And that's the kind of loss that sticks with you, not because you got dominated, but because you beat yourself. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. After the game, nobody's pointing fingers. Mendoza stands by the aggression. Lindor? He literally says, I'm on board with sending me. Even admits he took a slightly bad route. So inside that clubhouse, they're not calling it a mistake. They're calling it identity. Aggressive baseball. Pressure baseball. But let's be real for a second. This is the kind of aggressive that looks great when it works and brutal when it doesn't. And today, it cost them the game. Zoom out. And this wasn't just one bad play. 16 strikeouts. 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position, 8 walks from the pitching staff. This was a team that kept giving the Pirates chances, and eventually it caught up to them. But the lasting image? Lindor getting thrown out at the plate, inches away, in a moment that could have changed everything, and that's why this loss hits different. Because early in the season, this is where identities are formed. Do you stay aggressive, or do you start second-guessing yourself? Because one thing is clear. The Mets didn't just lose a game, they opened the door to a whole lot of questions.